Hello everyone, welcome back to the network security training. In this video, we will be discussing networking components. Alright, so as a wide range of devices are used in modern networking, as we all know that, right? So basically, as network security admin or a network security specialist, you must understand networking components, right? You need to have a good understanding of these commonly used networking devices. Each of these devices that we are going to discuss fulfills a specific role in a network. However, only the largest and most complex environments use all of them. So let's begin with our first discussion with the networking devices, which perhaps the most simple and common network device used today. That is hub. So hub is a device that splits a network connection into multiple computers or into multiple networks, you can say. Hub is basically a device that splits a network connection. When computer requests for some information from a network, it basically first sends the request to the hub through cable. Hub will broadcast this request to the entire network. Hub is basically a device that uses the one-to-many technology. One-to-many. That means hub is getting one request and it's splitting the request to all of the computers that are connected through that hub. It forwards the request to all of the computers that are connected with that particular hub. So it basically broadcasts the connection. Are you getting? Hub broadcast the connection. That means it uses the one-to-many technology. Currently, hubs are becoming obsolete and replaced by more advanced communication devices such as switches or routers. Alright, let's discuss switch. Switch is basically a device, a hardware device that connects multiple devices on a computer network. It contains more advanced features than hub. It connects devices on a computer network using packet switching to receive, process, and forward data to the destination device. It basically contains the updated table that decides where the data is transmitted or not. Switch uses one-to-one technology because switch doesn't broadcast the connection. Alright, like hub, it doesn't broadcast the message to the entire network like the hub. It basically determines the device to whom the message is to be transmitted. Therefore, we can say that switch provides a direct connection between the source and the destination. That's why I'm calling it one-to-one communication. Hub uses one-to-many communication. Switch use one-to-one communication. That means if you are using hub in your network, right, that means hub forwards the connection to all of the network, to all of the computers that are connected to that hub. It basically broadcasts the connection, but switch will not broadcast the connection. All right, at the particular time, it will forward a simple connection at one end. All right, in switch we have one receiver and one sender. All right, and in hub we have one sender and multiple receivers. So basically the thing is, if you are in your network and you are using hub, that is vulnerable. Because if hacker is also connected in your hub, in your network, and you are using hub in that particular network, so it definitely will broadcast the connection, will broadcast the request, and will broadcast the packets. So a hacker can also sniff those packets. That's why organizations today are not using hub. In place of that, they are using switch, because switch doesn't broadcast the packet. Switch doesn't broadcast the connection. All right, so this is the basic difference between hub and switch. Now let's talk about router. So a router is basically a hardware device that is used to connect a LAN with an internet connection. A device that connects a LAN with an internet connection and also used to receive, analyze, and forward the incoming packets to another network. It basically works in the layer 3, that is network layer of the OSI model that we have discussed before, right? OSI model we have discussed. So it basically works on layer 3. Router enhances the overall performance of the network. Like, let's take an example. If you have 24 workstations in your network, so it generates the same amount of traffic. You have 24 workstations and it generates the same amount of traffic. So this will increase the traffic load on the network. But router is the device that can split the single network into 2 networks of 12 workstations each. So this is how you can reduce the traffic load by half. All right, so router works as a performance management technology also. Now let's talk about NIC. NIC is network interface card. All right, network interface card, a basically hardware device that connect a computer with the network. It basically the main computer network component. The MAC address or physical address is encoded on the network card chip, which is assigned by the IEEE to identify a network card uniquely. They are installed in motherboards, right? We have basically 2 types of NIC, you can say, a wired NIC and wireless NIC. Wired NIC is present inside the motherboard. Cables and connectors are used with wired NIC to transferring the data, and wireless NIC contains the antenna to obtain the connection over the wireless network. Like we are using laptop computers that contains the wireless NICs. All right, so NIC is the network interface card that is used to connect a computer with another computer onto the network, and it's basically installed in the motherboards. In the practical session, I'll show you how you can check the MAC addresses, right, as per your NIC network interface card. So how can you check the MAC address of that particular network interface card, how you can find out your IP addresses, and how hackers or attackers using spoofing technology to maintaining the anonymity of their machines, right? So I'll show you how hackers are using MAC address spoofing and IP spoofing to maintain their anonymity. But before that, let's discuss another components. Next we have modem. So modem, as the name stands for, modulator and demodulator. All right, it basically converts the digital data into an analog signal. A modem basically enables you to connect your computer to the available internet connection over the existing telephone lines. all right, and modem is not integrated with a computer motherboard. So basically a modem is a very important piece of network that allows you, or that allows a computer to send and receive data through a telephone line or cable connection. All right, next we have cables. So it's basically known as network cables, right? So it's like a wire that is used to connect more than one computers or other devices such as printers and scanners to each other. Cables is basically a transmission media used for transmitting a signal. All right. These cables are used to physically connect networking devices. We have different types of cables that can be used depending upon the devices being connected, the network topology, and the size of the network you are using. So like for an example, if you are having a network in your office, right? So you can use Ethernet cable as the primary network cable to connect number of devices in a very short distance areas. Whereas if you are having a fiber optic cables that can be used to prefer for transmitting data over a larger distance, such as the connection from the internet service provider to the clients. So same like that, we have three types of cables basically: twisted pair cable, coaxial cables, and fiber optic cables. All right, so depending upon your needs, you can use these type of cables accordingly: twisted pair cables, coaxial cables, and fiber optic cables. Today for basically larger speeds and for larger networks, we use fiber optic cables. Then we have clients. So clients is basically a hardware or a software device that access a service made available by a server. A client is a computer that is connected to other computers in the network and can receive data sent by other computers. That means it's basically receiving these services. The person or the computer or the hardware device that is receiving the services sent by the server, that is known as client. And server, what is server? Servers are computers that run operating system and hold data that can be shared over a computer network. Basically a network server is the main component on the network because it provides number of services to different clients. This computer is commonly known as the repository of data and programs which exist on the network. The server provides number of functionalities, number of services for all other devices on the network, and these devices are known as clients. So you can relate client and server. Client is the device or the application that is receiving the services, and server is the device, is the component that is forwarding or that is basically providing the functionalities. So it's known as server, right? So we have client and server, and so far we have client and server technology. All right, so these are the basic networking components that you must understand how they works and what is the need in your networking environment. In the next video, we will be discussing protocols in the TCP/IP stack. So stay tuned. Bye-bye.